said this earlier today.
We need Greenland very importantly for international security. We have to have Greenland. It's not a question of, do you think we can do without it? We can.
NBC News international correspondent Molly Hunter is following this trip for us from the capital of Greenland. Molly, the vice president spoke to U.S. troops at a military base not too long ago. You look cold there. Tell us about what happened at that event with the troops.
Sorry, Kate was just doing some last-minute adjusting. The wind is picking up around the fjord in Nuuk, in the capital of Greenland. But we did just listen to the vice president. He just wrapped up his prepared remarks. He took a few questions. He was speaking to troops up in the northwest, the very remote northwest of the space base. The station there, about 150 U.S. military personnel. Take a quick listen to what he had to say, and I'll talk to you in the back end.
We want to have good relationships with everybody. That includes, even to the extent possible, the Chinese and the Russians. But part of having good relations is showing your strength when you have to. And unfortunately, the story of Greenland over the past 20 years when it comes to security is that we've underinvested in the infrastructure, we've underinvested in the security architecture, and we've underinvested in the brave men and women who are doing a very hard job, as Mike said, to keep all of us safe.
And Greenland is a semi-autonomous territory under the Danish government in Copenhagen. And he really spoke a lot about Denmark. He blamed Denmark, of course, the NATO ally of America's, for underinvesting in the infrastructure you just heard in there, for underinvesting in the security, for underinvesting in the Greenlandic people. And the message here, and I've just been talking to a couple young people who I watched Vice President Vance's remarks with, and they don't trust it, Kate. They feel like it was an excuse. They feel like he's not speaking transparently, and they don't feel like kind of the respect is really towards the Greenlandic people, and certainly has their best interests in heart, Kate.
Molly, the President Trump was pretty transparent today, though, saying once again, we're going to control, the U.S. is going to control Greenland. How do people you're speaking with there react to that and what the Vice President said?
Yeah, we also asked kind of if they saw, and these women that we just watched the speech with, if they saw a future cooperating with America, if they wanted to do business with America. Because, Kate, I think the whole conversation this week has been really about respect. We've been talking to Greenlanders here, and they say, and they have been saying, they're still open for business with America. They still want these partnerships. They want to kind of explore those partnerships, but on their terms. After just listening to President Trump and the Vice President, these people and these women that I was just speaking with, do feel disrespected. They feel like they're being dictated to. They don't feel like it is on their terms. And the fact that this itinerary, as you mentioned in your intro, Kate, was so shifted and has changed into just a kind of a national security mission up to the space base in the Northwest, they felt like that didn't really take into account what the Greenlandic government has been saying all week. The Greenlandic government has said very clearly that they were not invited, that it was not a great time. There were just elections here. They've been dealing with creating a coalition government. And all of that has combined to, I think, a really sour taste in the Greenlanders' mouths that we've been speaking to.
Yeah, and Molly, I know you mentioned to me earlier that there's polling that shows that most people in Greenland, frankly, don't want to be run by the United States. I have to let you go, but I have to say, where you're standing is one of the most stunning live shots I have ever seen, Molly.
It's absolutely beautiful here, Kate. And that poll actually you mentioned, that was back in January. 6%, only 6% of Greenlanders said they wanted to be part of America. And everyone we've been talking to in the last couple of days think that number has probably changed then and think that number is probably lower.
Okay, Molly Hunter for us in Greenland. Thank you so much. Up next, day 2 of the men's